Hello and welcome to Gary and River vs. Settlers 2. This is one of the first games that I remember playing as a child. It has defined so much about what I consider good games in a lot of ways, and I'm reminded of it when I play things like Microtown, Depraved, Frozenheim. They all give me memories and flashbacks of this game, which I think did basically all of it better. We'll see how well it holds up. 1995 to 1997. Wow, this is a very old game. But we're going to play the campaign. Diary of Octavius, 4th day after shipwreck. Yesterday all the survivors met in order to discuss the situation. Because there is no prospect of an early rescue, we decided to settle on this foreign island. The items salvaged from the ship will be a great help to us. The most important thing is to make use of the raw materials on the island in order to establish a settlement. We urgently need accommodations for a woodcutter, carpenter, and stonemason. So, the way this game works is you have your stockpile, your headquarters, which has all of the stuff, not a lot in here. And there's like a couple of pages. You have different kinds of building space. You have flags, where you can place a flag. You have the house, which can only build small things. You've got the medium one, and you've got the castle, which the medium one builds medium things, the castle fits big things. Castle can also fit anything smaller, etc. You know, you also have magical tricks like observation windows. So you can just watch this bunny. I'm just gonna leave the bunny there in the corner for a bit. The main goal of the game is to expand. It has like combat elements later on, but we will get to those in due time. So, start off with, we need a quarry, we need a woodcutter, and we need a sawmill. So the idea is, and I'm afraid I can't zoom. Oh yeah, quick thing. This is the GOG version of it running on DOSBox, which means it is stuck in this resolution. I cannot zoom, I cannot change the resolution. There are a couple of other versions of this game, some that do have zoom, some that have high resolution, but the high resolution ones have a tiny UI, and the ones with zoom don't have the campaign, so I think this is the best answer. Anyway, when you're building a road, it shows you these things, and essentially it's how level it is, and height difference affects speed on the road, so it's best to keep it as sort of smooth as possible. So if we go to there, have another one coming round to there, and also coming out to there. And once things are connected, your settlers work automatically. And this is what I like about these guys. Because when I played Microtown, there was no way to set the roads, and therefore no way to set sort of how quickly things were done and in what order. So what's happening here is they're taking the planks out of the stockpile and delivering them to wherever they're going. So he's placing that there. If I put a second flag there, that will add another guy to the route. And the idea is that, if I put one there as well, the idea is that it speeds up the rate that stuff travels, because they don't have to walk the whole distance. But this one is quite overworked, but there's nothing I can do there. Like, I can't put another flag in there. The builder on the woodcutter is done, as you can tell by the fact that the door is left open. And here comes the woodcutter, who's going to walk in there and immediately begin to work. So he's now cutting trees. There aren't a lot of trees, but he will travel quite a distance. I don't actually remember. There must be a maximum distance he can travel. He then drops it outside on his flag, and the carriers carry it away. The quarry is also done, so the miner's going in there now. And that's what these are. These are stone deposits. You can't like see how much is left in them, it's just visual. That's the stone deposit there as well, the smaller one. And he will just randomly go to nearby stone deposits and then drop off blocks of stone. I've only got 10 left. And the sawmill, which is very nearly done, turns wood into boards. 8th day after shipwreck. The basic requirements for building up our settlement have been met. However, the supply of trees in this region will not last long. We need a forester to ensure a long-term supply of timber. You get these little birdies in the bottom, which are just notifications. A new type forester. So the forester, I will put... Oh, there isn't really a great place for him. If I tear down the flag on a building, it destroys the building, but the roads you can just redo at will. Forester. So put a flag there. Yeah, let's go for that one, and then up to there. Yeah. So that's changed it slightly. Also, a fun trick that I recall is once the forester is in his house, you can then delete the road. Nothing ever needs to go to or from it. He just works completely independently. So you can isolate him in the middle of the forest and he'll just work, and it's amazing. 11th day on the 2nd month after shipwreck. We are still not sure whether we're the only people on this island. As a precautionary measure, we should erect a barracks on our exposed border towards the interior. Cool, barracks. And this is... Oh, our territory is spread as far as the mountain in the north. Our geologists will carry out a land survey. In the long term, we need fuel and building materials, as well as weapons and coined gold. We must therefore find a source of iron, gold, coal, and granite. Alright, well, it hasn't, but okay. So, put a barracks there. Oh yeah, also you can just click to a flag and it'll just build a road there by the shortest route. Not the most efficient necessarily, just the shortest. Yeah, I forgot that when it pops up the story stuff, it then cancels the observation windows you have open. These are scouts. Also, with these you can like zoom in. With these you can choose whether it follows something. You can go to them and you can make them bigger. But yeah, scouts do as you're about to see here. They go to the edge of the border and discover chunks of new land. And then there's no fog of war or anything you find you have full vision over. So it's like a pro strat, by which I mean a basic game mechanic, to get a flag on the border as soon as possible and get scouting. Awkwardly, they're both scouting in the same direction. We're just going to have to live with that. I don't recall... let's get rid of that road. I don't recall the best ratio for forester to woodcutter. How many soldiers do I have? I have 7 privates. Then there's private first class, sergeant, officer, and general, and there are ways to level them up, which I'm sure we will come to later. Something that sets this game apart, I think, from more modern things is there's no upkeep for anything, really. As long as you have the materials that are required for the building, that's all you need. So the sawmill won't work without logs, and some other buildings need things like miners need food, which, again, we will come to, I'm sure, but... apart from that, there is no, like, goals, there is no... I mean, there's gold coins, but they serve a specific purpose. There, the barracks is now done, so we have a soldier, a private, coming to occupy it. And when he goes in the door... Boom! Military building occupied. And that expands your terrain, so you can build more, and as you can see, there is now an additional one of these... The mine. So erect that as a flag, just get it to there, and get a couple of geologists. So I think with mountains, which is this sort of texture, you can't build any normal things, you can only dig mines, so you can't expand over a mountain. Barracks are another thing that you can just cut off, so they can have, like, use, but for the most part, unless you are on a battlefront, you don't need to keep them sort of connected. 16th day of the 6th month. We've found iron ore and are now able to produce weapons. There is now no obstacle to further exploration of this island. First, we must construct both an iron mine and an iron smelter. An armourer can then start to produce swords and shields. We must also provide the miners with food. Our stocks are almost exhausted. We need hunters and fishermen. Build an iron mine, a smelter, and an armory. So this guy, he is the geologist, and he goes around hitting the floor trying to find minerals. And when he does, he places a flag like this one. Fisher, hunter, armourer, smelter, iron ore, and iron found. And how much of this sign is like filled in determines how much there is there. So that's very filled in, which means there is a large supply of iron, because those do eventually run out. As you can see, the quarries hacked away quite a large bit of this stone as well. We have ensured a fuel supply for the metalworks by finding coal. Now we can process our metal ores without problems. Everything is going extremely well. Yippee! Love that. And that is coal. You can also find gold. It said they want granite as well, which I think is just another supply of stone, because this is going to run out before too long. If you geologist around grass, you can find water for building wells. Soldiers about to expand my land again. Boom, very nice. So immediately get a flag at the furthest possible point. And, oh, our geologist has found a spring. We are now able to supply fresh water. 6 months into being here. Alright, that looks like a pretty good location for it. Maybe that one, but I'm going to go with here. Iron mine. So with these, the signs do disappear after a while, so I'm going to put a coal on there as well. So the best thing is to geologize around, place as many mines as you reckon you'll need, and then you can always just like faff around with them later. Can I fit a fishery in here? Can I get a road? Oh, it's not an easy road. No, there's no way to actually get a road out, which is a shame. Dig up that road. Alright, pull that down. There's also no cost for placing a thing like this. Alright, I'll just stick it here instead. Into there. Yep. The thing is, there are fishers and hunters. Hunters are not worth it, because they eradicate the local population really quickly, whereas fishers do it a lot slower. And you just, it's for the materials which you don't get back when you destroy the place. And I don't recall if the population regrows. I think it does, but I'm not certain. But essentially it's never worth putting a hunter down unless you're in a really, really high population area. So far we don't have any large buildings, but we've got the smelter and the armory, which both need mediums. So I don't know where the best place to put those is. Probably down here. And you don't really have like districts or areas, or I don't know if you can have supply lines. Like, is that log going to go? Yeah, the log stuff can go straight to its destination, so it is best to keep it nearby if possible. So bearing that in mind, let's put an iron smelter here. Put the armory there. Ah, that sign means that it needs flattening. So we will have the planer. Where's the planer? There he is, in his little hat with his shovel. A spade, probably. Looks more like a spade. The fisher will now start going down to the water to fish. I will also scout the area, just to make sure that the border isn't going to be a problem for the fishermen. And the planer goes over and digs and stamps his feet and so on. And once he's done that, it will just be an ordinary building location. Let's connect that directly to there. And that's the iron mine. I'll turn the names back on. And I do also need to connect that to there. Oh, there's the ship. It's fishing, staring at the ship in which he came to the island. Oh, do you remember the fun times on that ship? Scurvy and seasickness, and at one time Claudius fell overboard and everybody laughed, and then it was remembered Claudius can't swim, and then it's like, Claudius, why on earth did you join the Roman Navy if you can't swim? And he's like, well, he couldn't reply because he was drowning, but good times. We've got quite a massive stockpile of resources heading north here, because I've got 4 bloody building sites coming off this one route. Not much I can do about it, though. Like, you can do this to, like, speed up transition, because the idea is it's all headed in that direction. So if you have additional paths like this, it does split the load, which is a really cool idea. Another barracks occupied. Fantastic. And here is a good place for a quarry, but we don't actually need it yet. How are we doing on... Yeah, we're doing really well on stone supplies. Wood, however, we're getting a little bit low. Might be worth setting up a second sort of woodery up here. Let's put a woodery here. We have discovered a gold vein and can now produce valuable coins in a mint. This will make life here almost as comfortable as at home. Okay, there's gold all the way up there. And the first mine is done. As you can see, they can have 2 fish, 2 bread, and 2 meat. Meat you get from hunters as well as slaughterhouses, I think they're called. Bread you get from bakers, fish directly from the fishery. Gold mine, mint, and gold found. Cool. The miner's heading into the iron mine where he will start working. The mines are one of the few places that I do sometimes turn off. Like, I do recall turning those off. There's no reason to turn anything else off, because unless you don't want it to, like, plant more trees or chop away more trees or anything like that. But mines are the only thing that do have that sort of passive use. The iron smelter uses... I suppose smelters and stuff that use materials you might want to turn off if you don't want them to burn through your iron. But I don't think there's any other use for iron other than smelting. Let's have a quick look. So no, any iron ore you do want smelting, there is no other use for it. Coal, however, coal is something that you do have multiple uses for, like the iron smelter and the mint, I think both use coal. Last day of the 8th month after coming ashore. There is an open, fertile plain to the north of our new border post. This will provide lots of new opportunities for expanding our settlement, but we need more soldiers. Go to the northern plain and continue expanding the border. Oh, is that the bit I've already done? After advancing further north, we've finally found enough space to produce larger buildings and farms. We now intend to search for raw materials in the surrounding mountains. Search for new materials and secure a supply of food. Explore the entire island. Yeah, I think that's what this place was. Whoops. Jumped the gun. But we have unlocked the farm. Now the farm uses a massive area. The barracks is in a bit of an awkward place with all the roads around it, so I'm probably going to have to remove the roads and stuff. Let's put the farm there. The thing with farms is that... Oh, let's go back to there. The thing with farms is they use a massive amount of space. They're not like self-contained. They plant around them, removing the use of the building spaces around them, basically. I think one downside of this game is you don't know how much stuff costs. So I was just thinking, is it worth building another woodcutter here to get these trees? And it's like, it is if it only uses wood to build the woodcutter, but if you need stone blocks, then they are a distinctly finite resource. I'm now building the second quarry, but it doesn't say anywhere. Expanded territory, fantastic. Immediately, another one on this border. Aha! We have our first donkey road. When the road goes dark and the flag is lined with gold, it's because they've decided that stretch of road is busy enough to warrant a donkey. And a donkey is essentially a second helper. Do helpers replenish? Yes, helpers replenish up to 100. So you never need to worry about like overusing your people. But donkeys need to be specially bred. You only get 15 in this one. And yeah, when a road is sufficiently busy, you can't really control when, but they will send out a donkey and he will just help carry stuff back and forth. Oh damn, I didn't notice I'd accidentally connected a second coal mine. Like, I placed it there preemptively, but I then used the flag to build a road. So he's now building a second coal mine that I didn't want him to. At this point, I've got a lot of building projects. I've put up a second woodcutter because that is the big shortage I have. I've got a quarry, second quarry being built. I've got the farm. I've got a fishery, the coal mine, and another barracks. So I have a lot that's being built. Geologists have found granite deposits in the mountains, which will provide a fresh supply of stone for the time being. Where's that? Up there, white. Okay. So we've got quite a large amount of gold around here. I mean, gold is always like one of the rarest, but let's stick a gold mine there. Construction of our first grain farm has been completed. The grain can either be processed into flour in a mill or used to feed pigs. The food supply situation should now continue to improve. Mill and pig farm. Let's put a mill there. And a pig farm is another large one. So I don't know where I'm going to put that yet. Yeah, the food situation's got bad now. I've run out of the default stocks of food, so now the mines are beginning to suffer. So I've stopped the accidental second coal mine. Oh, good, that's finished, so let's immediately place another. And get another scout out there. But I need to get the farm up and running in order to produce bread. I waited to place the pig farm until after I saw how much area around the farm it actually took up. I'd sort of forgotten. I think it plants 5 fields. There's going to be another one, I'm guessing, there. So it takes up quite an area around it. But it means I can have the fishery and pig farm coming in here without too much trouble. Our scouts have discovered a strange object. It looks like a gateway. We are obviously not the first humans on this island. They've even found an inscription on the gateway in Latin. It is bizarre and contradictory. Perhaps it is a riddle. Consiste ut procederas. Settle down in order to make progress. What can this mean? Gateway, there it is. That is like the end point of this. You go through the gateway and that takes you to the next scenario. The windmill can supply a baker with sufficient flour for baking bread. Bakery. So I left the space deliberately here for the bakery. Not that I reckon I'm actually going to need them, because now I've sort of found this, I just need to reach it. All this stuff is just teaching you the basics while you explore to find the end. Oh wow, the world loops. That really caught me by surprise. How did we crash there when there's like a perfectly good island just to the south with all these people on it? Hopefully just one more is needed now. Yep. This is the sort of game that if it had a fast forward mode, I would just spend an irrationally long time clearing the island of all resources. I used to do that on Age of Empires, you know. Like, I remember playing literally the first level or two of the tutorial campaign of Age of Empires 1 just for the sole purpose of clearing all the resources off the island. I don't know why I did it. Even back then, I'd like to see the world burn. Damn, if I'd planned ahead a bit better, we could have had the pig farm up and running. There is a very special kind of joy I get from the pig farm, which I'm afraid I'll have to show you in another episode, because the soldier is on his way to the final barracks, and I think that will end the first scenario. I'm going to try and do 1 episode per scenario. I'm hoping that's a viable thing. This one's taken me an hour, by the way. It's not a quick game, but it's a game that I enjoy, and I can just edit out the long periods of waiting in between. And here we go. 2nd day of the 13th month after coming ashore. The 2nd year has begun yesterday, and we seem to have succeeded in settling this island. The scouts report strange goings-on near the gateway. It appears that a path is open that can lead us from this island. Seems to be a meaning to the riddle. We must settle in order to move on. We shall take a look. Perhaps all roads really do lead to Rome. 2nd chapter awaits you. So thank you very much for watching. Subscribe for more Settlers Too Soon, and I will catch you later. Yay!